Who is this team, bro? Another super underrated team already in Grands now, man. I don't know who this is. I've never heard of this team. EU's just too good, bro. There's so many underrated pros. Oh, Blaha. Zero build. Oh, he needs to reload. Wait. Oh my god, this team's crazy. These kids are the goats.
This is the story of how Team Flawless got 2 players into FNCS Grand Finals. First was Czesiack and then was Gobaw. We started off the season well, getting into multiple Cash Cup finals and multiple Eval Cup finals, but no one could have expected what was going to come.
Hi guys, it's Panya here, and with me I've got Czesiack, who was one of our players that managed to get into the latest FNCS Grand Final. Now, Czesiack, I got a lot of questions for you, but the first thing I want to say is massive congrats on making it to your first ever FNCS Grand Final. It's not easy at all, and you should be really proud of yourself. Now, going into the questions. Before you had even started playing the qualifiers, did you think you were going to make it to Grands?
I mean, like, it's very hard to make it to Grands, and I have no experience in it, so like, I was happy when I made it hits, and it was my goal, but at the back of my head I had like the feeling that I can make it to Grands, actually.
You failed to qualify for round 2 in qualifier 1, but did you still hope you could get into heats in a later session?
Yes, because like it's a really easy format, and it's just like 2 or 3 good games in round 4 to get to heats, so I wasn't really worrying about that.
You did manage to get a round 4 though in the second qualifier, and did you think from there you could make heats?
Yeah, like I said, the format was very easy, so like I wasn't worrying about that. I just played and managed to qual.
After making heats, were you still confident even then, with your duo, your landing spot and all of your surge planning, that you could get Grands?
I mean, there wasn't like much of a plan. We just like grinded and just get into the games and just played our game like usually, and like we managed to qual.
So you, in day 1 of heats, you were in lower bracket, then day 2 also lower bracket, but you managed to get into uppers for day 3, and then you called. How did that feel for you? What did you do to celebrate?
I mean, I didn't really celebrate. I was like just happy for myself. That's it. I was just like getting ready to play it. You know?
How did your family and friends react to you getting into finals?
They obviously congratulated me, but like it wasn't like much joy from them. I think I know it was just like, oh, congrats, you made it, and stuff like that, you know.
As you competed in the qualifiers, were there any challenges you faced that made it harder, like surge patterns or being contested?
I mean, we weren't really contested, and we had great surge patterns, so like we just needed to play our game well. It worked out perfectly.
Now that you can call yourself an FNCS Grand Finalist, what are your goals moving forward in your Fortnite career?
I obviously would like to repeat that and qual again, and time place better.
What advice would you give to other players trying to make their first FNCS Grand Final for the first time?
Play the game and like look for your mistakes, what you're doing, and just try to avoid them. You're gonna be good.
And finally, did you have any secret tips that you were using while preparing for FNCS?
Not really. I was just like getting in and playing my game as I usually do.
Okay.
Hello everyone, it's Mio here, and I'm here with Globo, who is one of our players who qualified to the FNCS Grand Finals last season. Now, Globo, I have some questions for you. But first of all, how did it feel though, qualifying?
Yeah, I felt more shocked than happy. I was shocked that I did it that easily in one game, so it was kind of shocked for me.
Yeah, I came off work and then I saw like you qualifying. I was like, oh my god. Do you think you were gonna crawl Grands when you went to uppers?
Yeah, I was kind of confident with it. Like, it was only top 25 from 50, so it was easily to do.
Can you like tell me the process that you went through to qualify?
Like I did all the strats for the spot. I practiced it, played customs and all of this, and it paid off.
Like when you told your family, did they have like any like big reaction?
Yeah, they were happy that I finally achieved something more than $100 in solo cash cup.
Is there like any player that you look up to? And
Nah, I just play my own playstyle and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't look up to anyone.
as you competed in the qualifiers, were there any like challenges that you faced making it hard to compete, like search or being contested?
Nah, in qualifiers no, only in grants. The search was kind of problem for us, but in qualifiers all good.
Now that you call yourself an FNCS Grand Finalist, what are your goals moving forward in Fortnite?
Like to qual to more grants, of course, and to try to qual land this season,
Yeah.
obviously.
Did you do a lot of VOD reviewing in between the 2 days grants?
Not today, but after FNCS I do a lot of them. Sometimes from 3rd round to 4th round I do.
But not when you were in grants, not like from day 1 to day 2.
Ah, in this, yes, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I thought you mean qualifiers. Okay.
No, yeah. What advice would you give other players if they want to qual for anything big?
Like, practice your IGLing skills. It's the most important thing I think to do. And PC is also some sort of easy. Not easy.
Just minis from what I can see here. 10 bandages is what he's gonna have to use to stay up. Luckily though, with that elimination, looking healthy on Storm Surge, but look at this, Turtle and his duo. This could be brutal.
Oh, did he see him pick it to the cone? Well, it doesn't matter now because they're gonna just go ahead, whether they saw him or not, finish the fight, box him up.
Good night.
Shipped him back to the
In terms
lobby.
of holding high ground here, they need to find a refresh.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can realistically hold high ground at this stage in the game that is up here. Everybody else looking down low. They're going to slide down the mountain here in a few minutes. So moving in and up these builds to try to find a safe spot, but he finally gets denied. The end of the road comes at the top of that mountain, and Combat has to figure out the plan B. Something we haven't seen a lot this weekend is a heal off, which he has it in his back pocket if it does come down to it out of nowhere. Perhawa entering back into the mix, one of the few solos still left in the game. Meanwhile, Mappy, Kiro just trying to go through unnoticed on the low ground, claim as much space as possible for when the inevitable happens, teams begin to drop down, they are ready.
3 builds, 2 builds, 0 builds now for Kiro. All the wood has been used. Perhawa just 1 shot away from getting eliminated. Kiro knows that as he's trying to get into the action there. Gets cracked though, dropped to 13 HP now. Just 2 ticks away from zone. He needs to get out of this position.
Yeah, it was a sacrifice that I don't know he should have made. Mappy goes down. Kiro's gonna fall. 2v2 situation. High ground versus low. Blaha, Kombik, they've been in full control, but Blaha's dropping down, but he takes a ton of fall damage. A shot from the flank. Dash is going up, and Blaha goes down. It's all up to Kombik. They had it in the bag. It's slipping through their fingers. Where that win is worth 65 points. Almost to that threshold in which we're talking about. Sprinkle in a few eliminations should be good, and making it sound easier than it actually is. I think this weekend proved getting a win is not the easiest thing in the world. In fact, it's probably one of the hardest.
Uh-oh, Blaha has been left alone as Combat has been knocked down. Lens though as well on the ground. Third party's in here. Oh, misses the shot. Unable to connect. Did stop the revive though, as now the player has been boxed up. Gonna get the finish.
Congested on the right side of where the current safe zone actually is, and a lot of them are going to be forced to rotate parallel to one another if they want to avoid traveling through open water.
It's gonna be tough here. Good news is
Everybody's just trying to rush one another and clean up a lot of that damage. This fight will and does tend to slow down just a little bit.
Strokey Raban going head to head here. Kelba and Gobaw. As now, looks like they do have the upper hand in this fight. Cracks continue to come on through, but nothing yet to convince Strokey and Raban to go fully in.
It's a good shot. 80 damage just like that. Continues to back up Strokey. Not going to scare him too much though. He's ready to pop some shots. Fire back at his opponents. We're not make him look like a pushover, and you can see because of that, him and Robon have been able to get 2 different angles that they can now attack from, which some it's a blessing, but all it takes is that 1 second of separation for them to target out either Robon or Strokey to turn this into a 2v1 situation. There's just so much pressure coming from all around. Strokey not necessarily getting the upper hand in that fight, and kind of forced to heal up, back up just a little bit, and that third party gave him so much time to come in and disrupt this fight. And now the decisions have to be made. Do you continue on? Do you disengage? And I do think they're going to pick the latter. And take the fight to Cheeps as he lands just another good shot, backing down his opponent. And he's making Cheeps and Turtles second guess. Is this a fight they want to start and finish? Or is this a situation they want to run from as Cringe once again lands a shot on the run?
Cringe is playing this phenomenally. He's really playing like someone who knows the POI, and they just run out of patience. Cheeps and Turtle decided, okay, we need to just try pinch this guy. I'm tired of just trying to run at him. And when they go for the pinch, he realizes, okay, wait, they're both playing as solos. Let me try isolate a 1v1 and deal significant damage onto them, forces them back a bit.
Cammy goes down, but just by judging that Cammy even had a chance to go down, at least said he had a reboot opportunity. He got his teammate back, gave them a fighting chance, but that one is going to hurt. We talked about the 1.5 times multiplier. They are definitely one of the teams you look at have a consistent day. They started with 288 points in 3rd place, so they can only go down from here. And that puts a lot more pressure on them in the last 5 games of the day for them to really pick up the aggression, pick up the pace, and try to figure out a way to get those eliminations. Team that's just been progressively getting better. I think we all know what type of performance they had throughout the semifinals. Really waiting to the last moment to punch their ticket to Grands, but since then they have not looked back. Seems like a lot of their experience, a lot of their planning was to come into a set lobby just like this. They found at least 1 elimination so far. Even though Storm Surge is active, it's all about staying above that threshold, whether it's by 300 or 1. You want to give yourself that chance to not have to just run around and put yourself into desperate situations looking for Storm Surge yourself. But glad to see that Noms is back in the game. Enough running around the map for Cringe. He's given himself a chance now to bring this duo power back into the game, in which they've been using almost all weekend long to give themselves that 2nd place.
I mean, you use the word power, I think that's generous, right? Well, how much power would they really have? Lack of materials, lack of loot. Down on Surge as well. They might just be easy pickings for any team that is sitting here on the edge of zone. They're gonna have to really get creative to push themselves back into this game. You know, that lightning bolt in hand, I think Cringe might just have some interesting intentions here. Yeah, he's looking to cook up something. He has his eyes set on ruining someone's game, and it might just be Vico and Pinks.
Yeah, any damage is better than none. He actually lands that 3rd and final Thunderbolt. About 80 shield, that's gonna get him above the threshold. And like I said, whether it's 6 or 600, that's where you want to be, because instantly they fall below. Storm Surge activates, down goes Noms. Unfortunate circumstances for Cringe, because now he's once again left as a solo. The only blessing he has going for him right now is he is center zone on this 50-50. He just needs a moment to breathe, an opportunity to put that DMR to use to try to get some shots at anybody rotating in.
And again, I don't want to harp on this, right? But that was the biggest question about them. Now, today, uncontested, how will they fare with Surge? And the first game isn't looking as sweet as it was yesterday, right? So either this becomes a reoccurring problem for them, or maybe just a blip in the long 12 games we have. A replay of Malabuka here over towards Grim Gate. Fighting as he does best, takes down the other Cringe. But he's still playing this one as a solo. The stash is down.
This is isn't necessarily too bad of a situation, because while everybody else here is rotating the zone, trying to get their spots so they're not the last ones left, that's given a lot of space and a lot of freedom for Malibuca to actually go for the reboot or reposition with any of these launch pads on top of Reef Island to a reboot that he so chooses. As we tune on board first place, Swizzy, Vanya just going through a little bit of struggles here, getting targeted around the lobby. It does look like they're going to be able to hold their ground momentarily. 500 damage above that Storm Surge threshold. They really have nothing to worry about other than the rotations.
Yeah, and I've loved watching these guys play. So aggressive. A lot of the time it feels like watching what Malibuca and Masash would be like if they decided to be a hype team, right? And commit to that type of play style. Very ruthless, very forceful, but it works out.
I'm just toe tagging some players, just getting damaged any way that he can. And this is where you're going to see it really come into play. As this zone does move a little bit up those mountains, you see the flow bear, you see the Wings of Icarus, something that's been popularized so much this weekend. That's going to be the biggest tool in their tool belt, and it's been the biggest tool with the zone.
Such a long way.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest shakeups that happened, you know, going from the qualifiers week 1 and 2, the semifinals to here, that there were so many different formats, open style lobbies, that Surge wasn't necessarily as prevalent going through this process, but coming to the set lobby where you have 50 of the best teams in the world, you're not going to get those same opportunities, so you really have to start to think outside of the box and really hone in on your Storm Surge strategy. And that's what we've seen, the adaptation, the flexibility from a team like Queasy and Thomas. Throughout the qualification, we were even wondering how far they would even make it and started in the lower bracket, and Surge has been a huge part of that downfall, but you could see them adapting, changing things up, stealing other people's strategies, adding it as a part of their own, just like that, to chop down some of those Surge chargers and hopefully get some damage that they need.
I mean, talk about an ad for the new season, eh? He's got the lightning, he's got the water bending, he's using all the new items.
Anything he can get his hands on, and in a fight like this, even though kind of risky, especially considering the history of Pink and Vico throughout the weekend, but a fight like this, I would love to see Pink and Vico figure out a way to take this fight, win this fight, and start to build up that confidence and that momentum, because it's the mid-game fights, it's the inability to consistently make it in the end game to where they're finding struggles, and I don't want to see them not take fights, because then they're going to be down on Surge with a whole different set of struggles. I just want to see them find the confidence that got them to this position, figure out a way to live to that potential. One of the most consistent duos throughout the qualification process. I want to see that version of Pink and Vico.
You know, 100%. Who doesn't? Redoxy and Trip find themselves in a bit of trouble here, rotating in the storm behind Cammy and Seti. You know how much Cammy and Seti are going to let that one slide. They're going to get ahead. Let's see if they start to look back and punish Trip and Redoxy for even trying them. It looks like Cammy wants to, getting back up to that base, and looks still some of those old shields there. So a bush place, and I'm sure he'll look to go for some sort of a peak potentially.
So much where decisions have to be made. Stay in zone, get a couple more shots in Surge. They're 350 above. We can see that mountain where everybody can kind of see you. They're taking the road less traveled, using the environmental cover to their advantage, and down a mountain where not a lot of people are going to look. Our new video was down, Reason. He's trying to make something happen by himself, and this is huge. This is huge because no placement points just yet. Podesai is going to go down, so already going to get a chance at 6 more